nonsense talking, top rope walking, ultimate Xing, serious flexing, never be vague with your boy Craig, and opinion mixing from Pete to Nixon, keep doing things in an impactful way, bloody nonsense as the Brits say, talking bloody nonsense.
Yes, it's me. It's the MIC Craig, aka Mr. Impact. Joined as always by the one and only Peter Nixon. This is Talking Bloody Nonsense here on the TNAW channel. It's a new week, it's a new Impact, but first things first. Nixon, how are we?
You know, I was thinking about this the other day. I never ever know what to say on this intro bit. I always just wing it, but I've got nothing.
Just nothing going on. No, just no.
We've got plenty to talk about. I'm sure we'll get to it. But right now, I don't know what to say to you.
That fair enough.
How are you, Craig? What's new with you?
Few things, but it's all good. I've got a clear idea of where I'm heading, what I'm doing, so it's all good. Most important thing is we can keep this thing rolling. So that's all that matters. But as I mentioned, it's a new week, it's a new Impact. Emergence was this past week, past Friday, Saturday morning. But before we get into our review, I missed it last week, so I apologize if you're looking for it on here. But we do have the power rankings coming up from Emergence. Completely missed it last week, but here are power rankings from Emergence. Agree, disagree, let us know. Let's take it over to Datia with those power rankings.
Number 10, Digital Media Champion, Brian Myers. Number 9, Bandito. Number 8, the HBIC, Mia Yim. Number 7, Alex Shelley. Number 6, Death Machine, Sami Callihan. Number 5, Tag Team Champions, Vexed. Number 4, X Division Champion, Mike Bailey. Number 3, Honor No More. Number 2, World Champion Jordan Grace. Number 1, World Champion Josh Alexander.
And we are back. So yeah, it's Emergence. A very good show, in my opinion. But we'll get into more detail on that, and we'll start off like we usually do with the pre-show, the countdown to Emergence. We started off with the Digital Media Championship. Brian Myers successfully defending against Bhupinder Gurjar. And we have new Knockouts Tag Team Champions in Vexed, just Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo, after they defeated Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie. New Knockouts Tag Team Champions, and still Digital Media World Champion, Brian Myers. What did you make of the pre-show? What do you think of the matches? And what would you give it as a whole?
Full disclosure, I didn't see most of the pre-show, and that's because I finished work at 12:30, which is when the pre-show started. So it was airing whilst I was driving home. I cheekily, and I don't know how legal this is, but I had it on YouTube on my phone, and I was listening to it whilst I was driving, but the phone was folded up, so I couldn't see anything that was happening, and I couldn't have been tempted to have a look and see what was happening. But I was listening to it, purely because we do these predictions, so I want to know if I got things right, and I was one of the very few that got Brian Myers right, and I think most of us want. Did most of us go with Vexed to win the tag titles?
Again, full disclosure, it's been quite a hectic couple of weeks. I haven't checked the standings. I don't know if I'm the undisputed champion of the predictions. I don't know. I think I am. I reckon I'm still in the top, but
so you had quite a lead.
I don't know who went for what. Apologies, guys. haven't been paying much attention to wrestling in general. But no, I have no idea. I assume so. It felt like that's where it was going, but
yeah. Oh, I got back in decent time, and I saw the latter half of the tag title match, and the action looked good. And it was the right, decision to have Vex win the tag titles.
Yeah.
They had matching gear. That's important for a tag team.
yes.
But yeah, other than that, I can't really say much more about the pre-show, I'm afraid. I just haven't had a chance to go back and revisit the pre-show.
No, that's fair enough. I didn't catch it until Saturday afternoon anyway. Because on Friday, I had a little trip to the beach. Because it's nice weather, so. But
a lovely weekend of weather.
Yes, very, very good weekend. But yeah, the pre-show, because I watched the whole show, including the pre-show all the way through. Brian Myers cut a very good heel promo.
Yep, I heard that.
That's I always love. Even though you can say it's hack, you can say it's generic. When a heel just rips into the town they're in, it's great stuff. So that's good. And it also helped Bhupinder a lot. And I was surprised I thought this was, if they're going to do it, I thought that would be the moment to pull the trigger on Bhupinder. Yeah, he hasn't been around a lot, but that title win could have boosted him massively. But I think that's coming. I think the DMC will be perfect starting place for Bhupinder if what we see, what we think Impact seeing Bhupinder is anywhere near to what that actually is. Impact see a lot in Bhupinder, and I think the DMC would be good place to start him off. But as far as the Knockouts Tag Title match goes, I don't know what it was. It was a good match, very strong match, very good championship match. Obviously, it had to be short-ish because in 30 minutes to get 2 matches in and all the build-up. But it was good. Vex looked very good as a tag team, and I'm here for it all. Rosemary and Taya have always had great chemistry. And now Jessica. It's going to make it very interesting. It's going to be a feud. It's got to be a feud between Havoc, Jessica, Rosemary, and Taya. But all in all, a very, like it was with Impact, a very solid pre-show. Always a good way to do it. And do 2 title matches. And I'm all for it because every match following that was a banger.
So, just to your point about Myers and Bhupinder, the reason I went with Myers is because I think if they'd have put the title on Bhupinder, the Impact fans would feel like management was shoving Bhupinder down their throats, and they're more than likely going to turn their back on him. He's good. He's solid, He's got a natural charisma. I don't think English is his first language, so he's not got that level of communication yet with the fans.
It's not flowing,
no. But he's having good matches, and he's got a great foundation to build on. I think it was too soon to put any championship on him, if I'm being honest.
That's fair.
And Myers is having a good run with it. So, just keep it going. And the loss didn't hurt Bhupinder because he's had a nice little win streak, but he lost to, someone he's a big name. Let's face it. People know who Brian Myers / Kurt Hawkins is.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the loss hurt Bhupinder at all. And he'll only go up from here.
Yeah. When Bhupinder first came in, I thought, cool, another guy on the roster. Let's see what he can do. And slowly but surely, he's been progressing. And I agree with everything you just said. He has something. and Impact can really tap into this. And I can't wait to see what they do. It's been a while since we had a real homegrown talent. They haven't been anywhere before. They've come in. No one's really heard of them. And now we're getting a homegrown talent, and I'm for it. Impact. I mean, they've always had a good relationship with India as well. I believe they just renewed their broadcasting rights in India. So I think, and Bhupinder could be a good face for that relationship.
Definitely. And the India relationship, I was talking about this with someone over the weekend. I think it might have been Danny Darko. The India relationship and their broadcasting deal in India is exponentially more important than people realize. I think the India deal got Impact through some tough times.
Massively.
They would have been closing down if it wasn't for that revenue coming in. So yeah, can't be sniffed at, the India relationship.
No, that's been a crucial partnership for Impact. You know, WWE tried it. They're obviously successful over there, but WWE haven't managed to run a month worth of TV out of India and have it being so good. The India tapings were phenomenal, and I think having Bhupinder be the face of that, let's go. I'm all for it. It's something about him, and I'm down for it. So now we're going to go on to the I don't use the word main card because it seems that it's diminished in the pre-show, but the main sacrifice card on pay-per-view, Impact Plus, whatever you want to call it, started off with the X Division Championship. It's people Matt Bailey defeating Jack Evans. Now, so about this match, I wasn't a massive fan of it. It was very good. Just sort of felt off about, I don't know, maybe it is Jack Evans, or maybe it just the crowd was just warming up. Something felt a bit off in this match for me. And again, I noticed something, but it's probably more insignificant because I saw no reaction to it on Twitter. But after the match, Jack Evans pretty much got up and walked out straight away after the finish. I noticed I think the camera took it away from it, but I noticed Jack Evans, like, as Mike Bailey was getting the title, Jack Evans was already walking through the back. I don't know, probably nothing, but it seemed a bit odd to me.
I didn't notice this. Can you expand on it? Was he selling, or was he literally just marching towards the back?
He was just, I mean, literally, Bailey had barely got the title, and Jack Evans was already back to walk through the curtain. He was walking fine. I didn't see him holding anything, back of his neck or anything, but I didn't really get a good look. I just caught a glimpse of his vest walking through the back.
There's every chance, because I didn't notice this, because I thought the match was good. I think it was a clash of styles, because Evans is totally different from everyone else, in the wrestling world. But I enjoyed it. There was only one winner. I couldn't see Jack Evans coming in and winning the belt. Also, Jack Evans, since being on AEW, if you look at his face, he looks like he's aged 10 years in 6 months. It's very strange. He was moving around really well.
Yeah.
He did himself. He didn't do himself a disservice by any means. I thought the match was good. I was entertained by it and I enjoyed it. But the finish did feel a bit out of nowhere. So maybe they got their time cut. I know it's a weird thing for the opener to have their time cut. Yeah. Maybe they were running long and had to go into the finish, and the referee said, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. That match lasted just over 12 minutes.
Mm. Maybe they were given 10 and we're running long.
Maybe. But I felt a bit. It just felt a bit weird throughout the match, and then that thing at the end. Again, no one seemed to notice it on Twitter, and no one made a big deal of it online. So maybe it wasn't a big deal. I generally don't know. It just felt a bit. Match was really good, but I felt like maybe there might have been a bit too much hype around Jack Evans, especially online. I didn't get that. He's very good, but for me, I didn't get the hype. But maybe that match just wasn't his best. I don't know. It just felt a bit off for me.
That's fair enough. Jack Evans has been doing the same style for at least 20 years. And he's still doing the same stuff. He's still doing 630 splash, still doing the, what's it called? I've lost the word in my brain. There's at the start when he does the that with the legs.
Yeah. I can see it. Yeah. It's gone for me.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Comment below.
Yeah, exactly. He's still doing the same stuff he was doing 20 years ago, and at the same level of athleticism. Yeah. So, good credit to him because he's amazing. But maybe I don't know. It just his style is clashing with the wrestlers of today. So I don't know. I don't think he needs to change anything up. But I don't know. I don't have the solution for Jack Evans.
No.
Carry on doing what you're doing, Jack.
Yeah, I got I want to say Paul London vibe off him. I've got a kind of a Paul London vibe, but I don't know.
Felt a bit. Yeah, character-wise, I think it's spot on there.
Yeah, it's felt kind of Paul London-ish, but very good. And Bailey, in TV world, had two matches back to back, two very good matches back to back, successfully defending the X Division Championship. But now we've got to get a feud. Needs to be a long-term-ish feud for Bailey. Don't know who it's going to be, but I'm for it.
Give me Bandito.
Oh, so good. But again, we'll get into that one in very soon because next up we have a 6-man tag, no, 2-man tag. Before it's 6-man. No, we have Vibe by Design of Eric Young and Dina with Joe Doring taking on, I guess you can call them now. They can call them Time Machine Splitters, whatever they're called now. Chris Sabin and Kushida, and VBD picked up the win. What was your feelings on this one, on the match, and the whole Kushida and Sabin now Shelley at the tapings against VBD?
So when I saw the team name written in the match graphic on Twitter, and it was like Motor City Time Splitters or something, you're missing the perfect name. Call them Time Machine.
All right.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's just begging to be plucked out.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe H.G. Wells has the copyright on Time Machine. I don't know. The match was good. I thought it was going to be Dina and Doring against Time Machine. So that's why I went with Kushida and Sabin to pick up the win. They slotted Eric Young in there and changed the dynamic and made the match better. Because it was a great match. But very rare you get a less than average Chris Sabin or Kushida match or Eric Young match. So all the parts were there for a good one.
Yeah. It was fine. Again, I think the first two matches on the card were the two I didn't enjoy as much as I thought I was going to. Even I'm a big Chris Sabin guy, big Eric Young guy. Kushida, I've only seen bits and pieces of when I've watched the occasional takeover, or I've caught a clip on Twitter from his New Japan time. I mean, very good tag team match. Of course, Eric Young got cut up in a little bit. Don't know how it happened, but all in all, a very good match. I don't know what more I can say on it. It was, I thought we all thought it was going to be Dino and Doring, meaning that Dino was probably going to pick up the pin. Didn't. I forget who picked up the pin now, but it was fun. A good tag team match. You can't, and you've got Everett Young and Chris Sabin, two great tag team wrestlers, and of course you've got Kushida, one of the best cruiserweights, Super Juniors, whatever you want to call them, in wrestling right now, and Dino, who's a very, very good hand, very, very good hand. It was always going to work well. So, I don't know what I can say on it. It was fun. Enjoyed it. But yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah.
Very, very good match. Now we get on to, again, the match I thought I wasn't going to enjoy as much, but holy shit. I mean, Bandito defeating Ray Horus. What a match. Lasted 12 minutes. It felt like it was longer, but in a very, very good way. Like, I mean, from the crowd reactions to just the stuff they were putting out. I'll let you go on this one, because I mean, I haven't. It takes a lot for me to get chills watching the match. This gave me them. It's so good. But what was your take on this?
No, I knew these guys would just blow it out the park. They were part of the big four corners match at Ric Flair's last match, which everyone is talking about. And on Triple Mania, it was a 5-man, which Dave Meltzer said is one of the match of the year candidates for 2022. So we know these two have got good chemistry, and I'm just so excited for if they stick around and what else they can do in Impact Wrestling. And we know Laredo Kid has been with Impact for a fair amount of time, whilst also doing AAA. So I'm hoping they're not just there doing matches, that they're actually inserted into storylines and have feuds. Because Bandito, former Ring of Honor world champion, main evented against Jonathan Gresham at Supercard of Honor. The man is not only incredible and able to have great matches with all different styles of wrestlers, he's world renowned. So if he is part of the Impact roster going forward, that is only a positive. And Ray Horus, in the same vein as Laredo Kid, is just on his way up. He's getting more and more exposure. And he was El Dragon. What was his name in Lucha Underground? Dragon Azteca Jr.
I didn't watch. I couldn't get Lucha Underground, so I didn't get a chance to see it.
That's fair. It was a great company to watch, and if you ever get the chance to go back and watch some of that stuff, it was amazing. But he was a standout in Lucha Underground. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he's on the career trajectory that he is. The match was outstanding. This is the only thing I can say about it. I can't refer to specific spots because there were so many.
So many. But just because the crowd, they were heavily into it, and that just made it that much more exciting. Because there's lucha chants and people count to 10 in Spanish. It was It's just so much fun to watch, and all the callbacks to Eddie Guerrero. Obviously, Ray will obviously love that. Like everyone did. I mean, just wow. I said it a couple of times throughout the show, but it's the first time I said it. Matches like that is why I love wrestling. That's why I'm a wrestling fan. It's because I get to watch stuff like this. And yeah, for a match I thought was just going to be, I knew it would be very flippy, but they did such a good job. Like the Bandito using the referee as a towel. It's just great. Everything about that match from start to finish was great. And I want to see more of these. I know Bandito, I believe Impact this week, Bandito's in his 6-way determining a new number one contender for the World Championship.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be Eddie Edwards, but I won't be mad if it's Bandito.
Oh, I'd love if it was Bandito.
Josh and Bandito, Bound for Glory, I'm all for.
Yeah. I think I'd like to see, I've said it so many times, I'd like to see Bandito in the X Division wrestling Speedball, because their match at WrestleCon this year, one of the best this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent on this card, and I frigging loved it.
I actually, after the Bandito Ray Horus match at Emergence, I tweeted something like, "Give me Bandito versus Speedball at Bound for Glory. Book it, Scott D'Amore."
Yeah. And
Speedball liked the tweet, so yeah. Can only imagine that he agrees with me.
And that would just be a killer Bound for Glory match.
Exactly.
18th Bound for Glory. Have a banger of an X Division Championship match.
Maybe now's a good time to talk about the crowd, because you were referencing that they were doing, the counting in Spanish, and they were really into the Bandito Ray Horus match. Chicago crowds are always great. We know this. Cicero Stadium, fantastic venue. I had seen MLW use it before, but they didn't light it very well, or they had all the house lights up and just a shitty stage.
Yeah.
So it looked big, but just sort of, I don't know, a little bit dirty. I don't know.
I think I've seen MLW use it. I think I have seen a couple of clips of MLW. Yeah, I've seen it. I've used to watch MLW quite a bit. I think I've seen them. Yeah, I agree. It didn't look presentable through TV on their product.
Yeah, it just looked big. That's all I could say about it.
Like a massive town hall.
Impact make every venue they go to look fantastic with the lighting and the presentation.
Yeah.
And yeah, Cicero Stadium was on another level, in my opinion. They made it look fantastic. I wouldn't have been offended if they'd announced Bound for Glory for Cicero Stadium.
I could deal with that. I mean, obviously in the beginning there was a few technical difficulties. As there's the lighting of the graphics were a bit patchy. Like it looked like everyone was everyone in On and More was just wearing a load of foundation on their faces. The lighting was a bit iffy, but obviously it got better from that second and third match, which there
was a white balance issue.
Yeah, which they used to happen quite a bit, but Impact got a handle on that, and that's a rarity now. Obviously, Impact Plus is still a mess from what I gather, but if you don't like Impact Plus, there's Ultimate Insiders, and I've never had a problem with Insiders, never. So there's always that option for you.
That's how I watch Impact. Insiders.
Yeah,
Insiders.
It's arguably the best way to watch wrestling right now, particularly in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best option to watch wrestling, because unless you want to be paying, I don't even know how much a BT Sport every month, and the network on top of that, and then you can watch Dynamite on a what, on a Friday morning at 2 a.m?
Yeah,
like
their TV time slot isn't great. I think it's at midnight on a Friday.
Yeah, and I think I believe ITV4 aren't even showing Rampage anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I haven't seen Rampage advertising there for a long time.
Right.
But anyhow, I digress. Bandito Ray Horse, fucking phenomenal. Keep them around for as long as you possibly can. Don't have to sign some full contracts. Just keep using them. Keep using them because it's great. Then we massively changed at pace. Sami Callihan defeated Steve Macklin in a no DQ match. Obviously, most was going to happen, but it happened. And I just want to say, either Sami has done that chair throwing so many times, or we got lucky twice. But either way, the way the chair landed over Macklin's head was, it made me laugh. It was like, when it happened first time, I said, there's no way to do that twice in a row. Then he did it twice in a row. So I don't know if he practiced that chair shot a lot, or whether he's got lucky twice, but I fucking loved it. Every bit of it. And Steve Macklin looked great. Sami did such a good job in having Macklin look like a title contender. If Steve Macklin isn't X-Division champion within next year, I'd be playing that. That guy needs to be a champion. But I think maybe some point down the line, there could come a point where Macklin becomes one of these guys who doesn't need a title to get over. But I think right now it has to be a title on him.
I was just thinking that. Does he need a championship? If he's in the mix at the top of the card with the top guys, there's every chance that they'd never put any title on him, but he's still as over as anyone else on the roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match, it was very presented very differently, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How they stopped the match and then they went into the Kenny King Heath segment, and then they just commenced brawling in the crowd. Finally got back to the ring and finished the match. I loved it, and I couldn't wait because the Booker man wasn't watching live. And he messaged me the next day saying, "How was Emergence?" I said, "It was great." We got an in-ring promo from your favorite guy.
Yeah,
very interesting. I loved it.
Yeah, great. And I love this for Heath. This red-headed rebel, I'm all for it. He came in and was just always running his part. He's trying to get a job. Now he has something. He's not just filling his space on the roster. He's got something to do. And now on more sticking around. Spoiler alert. I'm liking this for Heath. I can't see where it goes. I hope it just didn't fade out, and it leads to something other than Heath just taking them out one by one, because that clearly is going to run its course very, very soon. But I love this for Heath, and did all in all a great job. Sami Macklin, I still think it's leading to a tag match. I'm not sure. I don't see it being Moxley. I just don't. I'm thinking Wentz, and then he can go on and do the tag team with Trey, from the Rascals again. But I think I'm expecting Zachary Wentz more than John Moxley. But wait and see, because you never know. I mean, I think AJ Styles recently said you never know who's going to show up in WWE, when talking about AEW and Impact. And I don't know if I don't know if that goes both ways, but be fucking cool.
Considering he had to ask permission to do a quick video message for Slammiversary, I can't see him Well, mind you,
That was Vince.
that
Yeah,
was when Vince was in charge. So
that was Vince.
still, I can't see Triple H going for it.
No.
Sending one of their top guys to another company for a match that he could get injured on, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but you never know, I suppose. I mean, I haven't watched Raw, but they've got Cross came back, Dexter Lumis back, they've got Dakota Kai back. I mean,
Yep. Hit Row.
things, yeah, hit right. I think a lot seems to be happening with Triple H, and a lot of the guys they didn't see a lot in, and who knows what's going to happen over there. But wrestling is cool. So then we moved on. Not too much of a change of pace, but with more numbers this time. We had a 10-man tag team match. Honor No More defeating the Bullet Club. If Honor No More had lost, they would have had to disband. Not the case. Honor No More are still here. Again, a great tag team match. All over the place in terms of the guys in the match, but every single one of them nailed it. And the injuries injuries to the Bullet Club, like Doc and Anderson, worked out great in terms of storytelling. PCO, of course, that's to do something like that'll. For anyone else, will probably break their back or break something. PCO is fine. After being sent, obviously the balcony wasn't high, but I would never take a bump like that. My body wouldn't let me. Off a balcony for a table.
Was there a table there?
Yes,
We didn't see it.
I've seen pictures from a fan. There's a table there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I've seen fan pictures.
I love the fact that we saw PCO just plummet into oblivion, and there was no inclination that there was a table there or not. I thought that was a wonderful touch.
Yeah, it's all good. What was your take on the 10-man tag? I believe I said Honor No More we're going to win it, but I can't remember now.
You did. I think I was one of the only people that said Bullet Club in the TNA IW family. But I'm glad Honor No More won, and they're sticking around as a unit and are now getting title shots. We don't know if this is a title shot for every member or just a tag title shot, but guarantee OGK are challenging the Good Brothers at some point. And
yeah,
come on, they're hopefully winning the belts.
Needs to happen.
Yeah.
From what I saw at these upcoming tapings, Matt Bennett has a one-on-one match with Kyle Anderson. So this is where he impacts. This is where it impacts him to do it.
Yeah.
But
more so than this being a great brawl and a cool 10-man tag. What I liked about it more than anything was the storytelling. The fact that because PCO got, thrown off that balcony by Doc, he wasn't there at the end of the match for the celebration.
Right.
A more victory celebration. So they're all, hands in the air, and PCO is nowhere to be found.
Not there.
And that's going to cause friction between, Eddie Edwards and PCO, who has been saying all along PCO's not pulling his weight as part of Honor No More. So yeah, I love that little detail, and I'm sure they'll play up on it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I guarantee PCO breaks away from Honor No More and is a babyface going forward. He's got to have a big match. Big match for Bound for Glory. I know I've been saying it for a while, but I'd love to see PCO and Eddie Edwards at Bound for Glory.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it all depends what happens in this number one contenders match. But I got a feeling this whoever wins this number one contenders match will probably be at Victory Road. I think it's a 6-man tonight, tomorrow for Impact. Eddie, Trey, Bandido, Macklin, Moose, and I think Sammy's in there.
Yeah.
But I think whoever wins this one goes on to Victory Road, not Battle for Glory. But
Okay, I thought it was the Bound for Glory.
I mean, maybe it is. I have. There's nothing on the poster that says it's not.
Okay.
But I don't know. When you've got Victory Road coming up, but again, maybe it could just book a tag match for the world champion. Like, who knows? But
here's the thing: Bound for Glory is only 2 weeks after Victory Road.
yeah.
So if you do this world title match at Victory Road, then you've got 2 weeks to build up your main event for the biggest pay-per-view of the year.
That's a fair point.
I'm sure Impact have a plan.
Yeah, it seemed to. So we'll go with whatever Impact to come up with, which more likely than not is going to be great. So who are we to complain? I'm sure some people could find a way, but but yeah, the 10-man tag. The highlight for me, Chris Bay wasn't pinned. Chris Bay finally got away without being frigging pinned.
I mean, they still lost, but at least he didn't eat the pin for once.
Yeah, I can take a bullet from loss as long as Bay doesn't have to keep eating that pin.
Who did get pinned? Was it Hikuleo?
No, it was Anderson.
Oh, it was Carl Anderson, the never openweight champion.
Oh no, not with Doc. Yeah, it was Doc.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
OGK both pinned him. Yeah, I know it was one of the Good Brothers, but yeah, it's Doc.
Oh.
But then we go to I guess now they're basically the co-main event of the world titles, starting with the Knockouts world title. Jordan Grace defeated Mia Yim, but for me the most surprising part was the referee.
Yeah, it was Scott Armstrong. Yeah. I mean,
And
not a surprise when you think about who was producing the show. But
yeah,
it's cool to see a legendary referee
and
back in Impact.
Yeah, say OG TNA.
Yeah.
And I believe Scott Armstrong is also going to be working backstage in the future as well.
Good. I think that's great.
Yeah, we did need a referee, and Scott Armstrong's a pretty good one to get.
Yeah, big time.
But as far as the match goes, I love this match so much. Jordan Grace and Mia Yim smashed it, and I really enjoyed this one. I wasn't surprised Mia Yim lost, even though I think I went for Mia Yim to win. But it feels like it's been 5 weeks. It's only been a week, but yeah, Jordan Grace picked up the win. Again, I'm trying to recall the spots, but it's just all gone from my head. Should have watched it again, but I remember it vividly, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. What was your take on the Knockouts World title?
My match of the night. I thought this was fucking fantastic. Proper edge of your seat stuff.
Yeah.
With all the moves being thrown and the near falls, the false finishes, if you will. Yeah, this match was excellent. And it even exceeded my expectations. I thought this match would probably be one of the better matches on the show. By far the match I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could probably make an argument for Josh and Alex Shelley, the main event, for being the best match on the show. But this is the match that I enjoyed the most, the Knockouts title match. Yeah, just outstanding work from both. And I think, Mia Yim really proved herself. We all knew that she could go, and she's a great worker, but she proved herself as on Jordan Grace's level, who I've been saying for months is one of the best in the world. Yeah, this match blew me away.
Yeah, it was so good. I agree. For me, it's match of the night. I'm I'm a sucker for a false finish. It drags me in every time, and I like that. They're so close to getting the 3, and then I exhale like, or just like if I want someone to win, I will stand up, and I did for this one. I was just they can force finish. Like they get me in every time. You can, no matter how many times you can do it, you'll get me every time. And as I know, this is too early. But it was really, really good. And we've been saying it for a couple of weeks, but I didn't realize how tall Mia Yim was.
I don't know how tall she is, but Jordan is not very tall.
No, but I mean, in as much as she's had it with Savannah Evans being involved, she's not far off. Like Mia Yim is taller than I thought. So it's just a thing, random thought that came to me.
The first time I was made aware of Mia Yim, it was in CZW, and she was doing something with Adam Cole. This would have been mid 2000s, maybe mid to late 2000s. And she towered over him, so it doesn't surprise me that she's tall. But he's not a good chap.
I'm surprised no one's found that photo and just reminded everyone how small, especially the AEW lot, reminded how small Adam Cole is, which is such in this wrestling world, it's such a stupid thing to be going, oh, he's short. Like, Adam Cole is phenomenal. Like, in NXT, probably some of the best matches I've seen. I'm trying to list them off, but
him and Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, I know. I even enjoyed the stuff with Undisputed Era against Imperium, and even against Walter. Like, yeah, obviously massive size difference there, but Cole is so good. And this argument, well, it's not an argument. It's people stating how tall someone is. It's stupid. It's they're wrestlers. Just back off a bit.
He's a top guy, isn't he? He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Who cares that he isn't very tall or has less of a physique than Wardlow or Moose or someone bigger than him?
It's so definitely. Deon Purrazzo gets it a lot. People just need to just stop typing on Twitter, because Twitter is not a real place.
Yeah, that's what William Regal said on his podcast.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Back up a bit, because they're wrestlers, and some of the wrestlers you're slagging off are some of the very best doing it right now. So just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all in all, Jordan Grace, Mia Yim. The knockouts are saying I'm blue in the face. The best division in wrestling right now. Then we go on to the main event. Josh Alexander defeats Alex Shelley to retain the Impact World Championship. Didn't expect anything less. And I want to touch on the promos of Impact the night before, the contract signing. That line from Shelley, all I'm going to see is an Alex Shelley mark. It made me laugh. I love that promo so much.
When he signed the contract and presented it to Josh as an autograph.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh.
It was so cool to see a contract signing not end with a table flip and a brawl, exactly, where they could just throw lines at each other. Yeah, It was tremendous. A great piece of television, and really got me hyped, as if I needed to be any more hyped.
Yeah, I mean, and it felt like that contract signing was the first time we've seen Josh in a very long time.
Yeah,
it felt like, oh, it's Josh. He's actually there. Even though he has been. But
yeah, he's wrestled. He wrestled Mahabali Shera. He's been popping up backstage. But yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, like, oh crap, Josh is actually talking for longer than 2 minutes. Cool. Let's go. Let's see. Let's go. But no, I agree. Contract signings, they're usually predictable, and they could have done that with this one. But I kind of had a feeling they weren't going to go that way because they're both technically faces, even though Shelley really healed it up for that. And I loved it. Every second of it. As far as the match goes, I mean, it lasted 27 minutes, this one. But it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like it.
Oh, like 15 minutes.
Yeah. It was so good. Josh Alexander is one of the best wrestlers right now, as is Alex Shelley. But after the match, my main thought was, but what now for Josh? That's been my feeling for a long time, since Summerversary. What now? Because they can't just have. We spoke a lot about it in previous episodes, and of course last week. But it still remains. That's the question of what now for Josh. A guy has had his challenges pop up, say, "Oh, I want a title match. Oh, I've won a number contenders match. I'm having a title match now." There's been his only real feud in this title picture, if you like, was with Moose at the very start. That's all it's been. And I'm getting word that this title reign is going to just drift down further and further. And I don't want it to. But what's your take on the match? And let's go into it a little bit more again. Josh, in the world title, what now?
Great match to finish a great show. Apparently, they're not the only match this weekend to have gone 27 minutes, and we'll get to that in the final 10. But we knew the match would be good. You know, great clash of styles. You know, we spoke about it for weeks. We saw the best of Josh Alexander. We saw the best of Alex Shelley. A great chemistry between the two, clearly. Cool to finally see Alex Shelley get his roses. You know, even though he didn't win the match, he finally got to main event an Impact, you know, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. He finally got to wrestle for the world title.
Proving he should have been the world champion long ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, we don't know how long he's going to be around at any point, so it's hard to invest in him. If I was a booker anyway, I would be hesitant to put the world title on him because we don't know if he's going to, you know, prioritize his main job, his day job, which, you know, fair play to him.
Yeah,
I can't, you know, diss him for that. But yeah, outstanding performance. In terms of Josh moving forward, we know that his next challenger is going to be decided tonight on Impact. Does he lose the title at Bound for Glory? Does the championship stay on him? And then what? It's a hard one. I'd love to see him hold the title for 2 years, you know?
Yeah.
Break Samoa Joe's Ring of Honor world title record.
Right.
But yeah, he's going to run out of challenges.
Yeah.
You know, he's done so many already, and there are more you can build up. I mean, I'd love to see Macklin win the match tonight on Impact and move on to Bound for Glory, but is it too soon for Macklin?
That's the thing. It looked like a couple weeks ago they're leaning towards Josh and Eddie, but that doesn't do a lot for me. Eddie is great, and obviously he's got a renewed character now. Doesn't do a lot for me. Eddie, I think it was Bert who mentioned it in the group chat. Eddie's a great transitional champion. You can put it on him, going to the next champion. Like have him hold it for a couple of months, fine. But before going to the next person they really want to push, they really want to make something out of. Eddie can do a great job of being a champion until the next big thing comes along. But Bound for Glory main event doesn't do a lot for me.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. He's been a transitional champion in the past. He got the belt off of Tessa Blanchard, kind of, onto Eric Young. You know, that would have been 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to see PCO get a shot at Josh at some point. I think that would be a great match.
Yeah.
And another different kind of match for Josh.
Yeah, it is a tough one because it's not like Impact is short of incredible talent. It's just finding someone who's ready to go now into a world title picture, into a main event picture. Who'd you pick? Is no one? I can't think of anyone who's immediately ready to go and smash it and be a legit contender, someone you can actually see winning. Because no disrespect to anyone else Josh has faced since moves, there isn't really anyone I've seen who thought, yeah, they can do this and they'll stop Josh and they'll be the next world champion. I haven't really seen it. They've all been phenomenal contenders, but I've never fully believed it.
I think with more build, Macklin will get there.
Yeah.
I think out of the 6, because we saw the tease recently, Eddie Edwards is the one who's most likely to win and go on to challenge Josh, and that's believable because Eddie has been world champion. He is the leader of Honor No More, and you know it will be a banger. But then, if Eddie's world champion,
I know that's it. Eddie Edwards has been for a long time Mr. Impact Wrestling. Of course, excluding moves from that. But I mean, he had his big moment as world champion. He's had it. It's at this point. It doesn't feel a massive deal.
No, exactly.
And that's unfortunate because Eddie is a phenomenal wrestler. But as I want to know more, he doesn't need a title. He doesn't need to be world champion. I can't see it getting a massive heel reaction for Eddie winning the world title from babyface. It's not. It's not going to work as well. Yeah, you can get on more involved in it and have them cost Josh the match. But people will be annoyed. I hope Impact can do something really well when it comes to booking this because they have the time. I mean, my personal preference would have been a Bound for Glory series. Not enough time for that, unfortunately. But we'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah.
Whoever wins tonight and where it goes from there.
Yeah, we've talked in previous weeks about potential outsiders that could come in and challenge Josh for the world title.
Yeah.
And I guess those options are still there down the road. You know, we talked about Ospreay. We talked about Jay White. You know, someone like Shingo Takagi coming in from New Japan and challenging Josh. That'd be a great match. But that kind of shows maybe the lack of depth in our own roster.
Right.
Not lack of depth. That's not what I mean. You know, the lack of legit challengers, believable challengers.
I get where you're coming from with that. You know, when Eric Young was announced as the number one contender of going to Slammiversary, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, well, we should get someone from another company to come in fight for the title. Why was it Eric Young?" It's kind of now it's flipped on that now because now I think they have to choose someone from the outside. No, like I said, no one's really ready to jump into a world title feud right now, and it's happening right now. There's no way you can't build anyone from this now. Whatever station they're at currently is how they're going into a world title feud.
Yeah,
and I just don't see who can go right now, and that's unfortunate. But anyway, talk to Emergence. How quickly before we move on to final 10. Out of 10, what do you give Emergence?
I'm going to say 9 because there was nothing on the show that I didn't enjoy.
Okay.
I can't quite go the full 10. But yeah, a solid 9 out of 10. Simple as that. I'd love to see other people's ratings on this show. Someone like Meltzer, I know he doesn't really bother with Impact anymore, but he has been rating the big matches, and I guarantee that the 2 main events, the 2 world title matches, had to have been at least 4.5 stars.
Yeah. For me, I've got to go 8.5. Purely because I wasn't heavily invested in the first 2 matches on the card. They're fine. It's sort of bad for me, but from then on though, it's banger, and the plus specials. At what point do we stop calling them specials and calling pay-per-views, because they are bangers of cards.
They're always pay-per-view quality, aren't they?
Yeah.
These specials.
And I know the talent treat them like pay-per-views, as they should, because they are killer shows. And it's come a long way from the one that Owen is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The fact is these Impact Plus specials are now unmissable.
Yes.
For hardcore wrestling fans, you have to see Emergence, Victory Road, Sacrifice, against all odds, because they're going to be top quality shows, and that means more and more people are getting wind of these high quality shows. More and more people are buying them, and Impact are only going to succeed if they keep on this upward trajectory.
Yeah, we had Josh Alexander defending the world titles, and some of his best matches have been on plus specials. I believe, no, he didn't win on plus specials, did he? No, he won it. I can't remember.
Won it Rebellion against Moose.
Rebellion. Yeah. There we go. I was thinking about Glory.
The Ishii match.
Yeah, Ishii plus special.
Yeah, that was Under Siege.
Yeah, not even a pay-per-view known name under Impact. It's just Under Siege, and he killed it. But anyway, that's Emergence. Great show. Go watch it if you haven't already, because it was killer. We're going to the final 10. And you were involved in quite a big show this week on yourself. Beach Ball Mania 4. Just want to obviously go ahead and tell everyone all about it. And if you're watching us here on YouTube, after you've watched us here on YouTube, or you can pause it and come back, whatever you want to do. Peter Nixon's Beach Ball Mania 4 is available on Fight TV. DIY Wrestling, go check it out. I know I will be. But yeah, if you want to tell people what they can expect and how the show went, etc., if you go ahead and tell people how good the show was.
Well, thank you for the plug, Craig. DOA Wrestling presents Peter Nixon's Beach Ball Mania 4 for free on Fight TV. We've got a great deal, a great relationship with Fight TV. They do a great job, presenting our product. Beach Ball Mania, for me, and I know for a lot of the DOA fans and indeed the Booker Man, they're the most fun shows of the year. I just enjoy them immensely, and they're some of my best matches have happened at Beach Ball Mania. Just a quick history of Peter Nixon at Beach Ball Mania. The first one, which was in Cambridge, I wrestled Damien, British wrestling legend Brett Meadows, and we had a hell of a match, something I was really, really proud of. The second, I wrestled Kip Sabian, who I've wrestled close to 50 times, I would have thought, in various match formats. But that was his last match before going over to the States and debuting for AEW. So that was a big deal. Actually, no, he'd already debuted for AEW. He was back here over the summer, seeing parents and introducing Penelope Ford to his family, who he then went on to marry. And he did a few matches, and I was the last one before he went back to the States, and then Dynamite debuted on TNT. The third one, last year, I wrestled Dexter for the Adrenaline Championship, and it was my first match back after the pandemic, and I was nervous, and I didn't know what to expect, but it turned out at that point to be our biggest house, DOA's biggest attendance ever, and we went on main event, no pressure, and it was a really, really good match, something I was really proud of. And then this past Saturday in Great Yarmouth, Beach Ball Mania 4, I wrestled Danny Darko, who I've wrestled in various match types before. This is our first one-on-one match, and we had the beach party match. So we had various, beach-related weapons, if you can call them weapons, at our disposal. And it was just a really fun match. I had such a great time. Awesome. Not much wrestling. There's a lot of comedy in this one. If you like nonsense, if you like bloody nonsense, which if you watch our show, you probably do.
Yeah, get a lot of it.
This one is something you'll enjoy. You don't need to take it seriously. In fact, please don't take it seriously. We used buckets and spades. I don't want to give too much away because I'm hoping everyone who watches this is going to go and watch the show. We used a super soaker filled with beer, rubber rings, all sorts of fun stuff. I used I had some creative use for ice cream cones.
Okay. I definitely need to check this one out then. Gotta check this one out.
When it came down to it, I didn't manage to win the Pandemonium Championship from Danny Darko. But then again, I don't want to spoil it, but I've got a big match lined up for DOA's return to Great Yarmouth on October the 8th. I'm going to be wrestling Big F and Joe. Someone who's making waves all over the world as one of the best deathmatch wrestlers in the world. So, we're not doing a deathmatch. That's not my style. I love watching it.
Yeah.
I'm not keen on doing
it. No, it's fair enough.
Lots to look forward to in DOA going forward. And so much good stuff on this Beach Ball Mania show. The main event was a cool, hard-hitting heavyweight affair. Brett Meadows, that's his real name, Damien challenging Brett Semtex for the heavyweight championship. We had in fact, I think that was the only time. No, I was in a title match. It was one of two title matches.
Mhm.
CJ Carter, who we're going to try and get on TBN chats at some point, unfortunately has had to retire with immediate effect and is therefore no longer the Adrenaline champion. Yeah, but we'll talk to him about that soon, hopefully. Yeah, a great women's match between Amira and Mia Cortez.
I'm familiar with Mia Cortez.
Yeah, but yeah, when myself and Danny got backstage, I stayed around. I stayed during the interval and hoovered the ring because of all the ice cream cones. Made a massive mess. Amira said to me, "You did 27 minutes." I said, "You're talking shit." What do you mean you did 27 minutes? That's bollocks. And she said, "No, you went 27 minutes." And I said, "What was that? Including entrances?" She said, "No, bell to bell, 27 minutes."
Cry.
And I don't know if she's having me on or if she misheard the timekeeper or just playing a rib.
Yeah.
It certainly didn't feel like 27 minutes.
Well, if anyone out there is going to be watching it, got a stopwatch handy, why not time it and let us know?
Yeah, please.
But I think with that, it will be a good time to call this a podcast. This has been a podcast. I've been the MIC. This has been Nixon. Continue to be Nixon. You know what to do by now. Follow us here, everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, wherever else you podcast. Until next time, goodbye, my friends.